Okay. Oops. All glories to Mother Ratasha. All glories to the religion of love. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to our Supreme Lord. O Lord God, please help us live out these teachings, be an example of love in the world. Jai. All right, we're continuing on the last couple pages of the book, Answers. And there was a man newly returned from a holy pilgrimage, who asked that she may now asked Mother Natasha, sorry, who asked that she now speak on the pilgrimage of the religion of love. And she answered him, "We too are on a holy pilgrimage, though it is not in the going out," she said, "but in the going within that our pilgrimage is made." Then he also said, "On pilgrimage we meet with those who are of the same religion, who pray as we pray, who believe as we believe. These we know to be as our brothers and sisters. We are connected because we are alike." Then she said also, "In the religion of love, we know everyone to be as our brothers and sisters. For are we not all the children of the same one God? We are not connected because we are alike, but because we are in love." The last to speak was one who came only to hear, and this he said to her, "I have listened with care to all that has been said, and I and all gathered have found it most excellent. Truth has been spoken tonight for the benefit of all. We have heard of the one God and the messengers of God, of austerities and charity, prayer and the pilgrimage, the very foundations of religion. And all the things here spoken of, I do. All that has been required of me by God, that have I done. Yet still do I wander in darkness, so that my soul cries out to God, 'How long, O Lord, must I wait for you?' And he broke down and sobbed. And seeing him so cast down, she took pity on him and said, 'Just as there is a time between seed and harvest, so too is there a trial by time in the faith of man. But know that though nothing may appear to be happening, you are happening. When the time is right,' she promised him, 'God will come.' And for him and for all who wait, she told this tale, and this, the story of the courtesan and the monk, was to be the last story that she would tell on that night, when all gathered together to hear of the religion of love. In a city, she said, there lived a courtesan, and her beauty was so great, it was said that even the jewels she wore were jealous of her. She was kept in a mansion of ivory and onyx by the richest men in the area. One day, as she passed by the gates of the city, she came upon a young monk. There was a beauty in him, and a purity, such as she had never before seen in any face. He was young, and his limbs strong and straight. Simply in the seeing did she desire him, and so invited him, saying, 'Come to me tonight.' And she so entreated him until finally he agreed, promising, 'I will come to you when the time is right.' But he did not come, and again she sought him out, for great was her desire, and again he promised her, 'When the time is right, I will come to you.' But he never did. Then was she caught by a terrible disease that ravaged her body and ruined her beauty. The men who had once desired her now shunned her, and they threw her out into the streets to wander like a dog, begging scraps of food. Ill and starving, she fell down dying onto the cold stone street. Then she felt strong arms around her, and gentle hands soothing her body with a healing ointment. And for the first time in her life, she knew what it had felt like to be loved, and to love. As it was in the dark night, she could not see, and so asked of the one who held her, "Who are you?" And a voice answered her tenderly, "I am the young monk you met by the gates of the city. I, who always promised I would come to you when the time was right. The time is right." Jai. Okay. So, there was a man newly returned from a holy pilgrimage who asked that she now speak on the pilgrimage of the religion of love. So, pilgrimage. Pilgrimage is another big hallmark of religion. And it varies between different faiths, different parts of the world, and for different reasons do people make pilgrimage. Some pilgrimage may be a form of obligation or duty, such as in Islam, it is the duty of every Muslim, one of the 5 pillars of Islam, to once in their life make a holy pilgrimage to Mecca. Also, in India, there are many holy places and special holy days where people make pilgrimage, such as Prayag or Allahabad, people gather in the Kumbh Mela, or other holy places such as Rameshwara, Jagannath Puri, Vrindavan. And in Christendom too, there's many places of pilgrimage, such as the Camino, which is a trail through Spain and France that many people make. And for many different reasons too, people make these pilgrimages. And they vary uniquely to each individual. Some make a pilgrimage to heal a disease, or some will walk the Camino, for example, to heal themselves, or to ask for a blessing for someone else, or just to figure things out in their life because they feel lost. In India, people will go to holy places to take a bath in a holy river, to be cleansed of sins, things such as this. So the reasons why people make a pilgrimage can vary, but pilgrimage is something common all throughout religion. And I'll make a note, as taught in the Holy Scriptures, I believe the Bhagavad Gita, if not Srimad Bhagavatam, wherein the Lord says that someone who goes to a holy place of pilgrimage just to take a bath is no better than a cow or an ass. It literally says that, a little rough. But what it's saying is, if you're just going to take a bath, you can take a bath anywhere. The real benefit of going to a holy place, a place of pilgrimage, is so that we can get opportunity to associate with holy persons. That's the true blessing of pilgrimage. And what makes a place a pilgrimage site is because one time in history or more, there were many holy people or a special holy person that sanctified such a place. And so it was by the presence of a holy person, of a saintly person, that makes a place an area of pilgrimage. And likely, just like that, we should go to holy places seeking out holy people so that we can get knowledge. That is the greatest blessing that we can receive in the association of devotees of God or advanced saintly persons, is to receive knowledge. knowledge that's going to free us from suffering, help us come closer to love and service of the Lord. So this is pilgrimage. Now, the man asks, in the religion of love, what is your pilgrimage? And she answers him, we too are on a holy pilgrimage, though it is not in the going out, but in the going within, that our pilgrimage is made. What does that mean? Well, spiritual life is entirely an internal thing. It's inside of us. It's in our heart, our consciousness, our thoughts, our intentions, our desires. It's not a hat you put on, or some robes you don, or the beads you hang around, or any such outward thing. Spiritual life is internal. And our entire life, the whole of life, is meant to be a holy pilgrimage to God. That is what our life is meant to be. It's not that you go to one destination. Oh, I went on a pilgrimage. Yay, that was nice. And you came back. Okay, done. No. Our whole life, every day, is a pilgrimage that we make to come closer and closer and closer to love, to our true self, to self-realization. And in realizing ourselves as the eternal servitor of the Lord, realize God, God realization. These two, self-realization, God realization, is spiritual realization. This is the purpose of life. So, we do make a pilgrimage. We make it daily. Every day, we are pulling hard and moving slow, grinding away at our spiritual practices, trying to purify our hearts and minds, trying to come closer to love of God. This is what the whole journey of life is meant to be. Thinking long term, where we are headed. Mother Atasha, she would sometimes say to me, you make a goal, visualize it, and picture yourself having attained that goal. Where are you? What are you wearing? What is your surroundings? Visualize the detail as much as possible. Manifest that dream you have. So think of where we want to be. Not just 1 year, 10 years, but the whole course of our life. At the end of our life, where do we hope to be? Where do we hope to go after death? This is our pilgrimage that we make. So, going outside, of course, can still be beneficial. Of course it is. Because going to such holy places, we are filled with wonder. We're filled with reverence. We're filled with remembrance of God and His devotees and His message. And that's wonderful. They can be very beneficial to visit or reside in a holy place. Of course. But many people go to holy places and they're just there to snap a picture or take a selfie, and that's about it. See, it's what's inside our minds, our consciousness, that will truly bring about the good benefit of visiting such a holy place. And visiting such a holy place isn't even totally necessary. It's where you go inside here. That's what's most important in your heart. Then he also said, on pilgrimage we meet with those who are of the same religion, who pray as we pray, who believe as we believe, who talk like us, who act like us, who look like us, right? These we know to be as our brothers and sisters. We are connected because we are alike. Well, this is kind of the sheep mentality, right? As long as we're all somewhat similar, we're all on the same page. Okay, you're my brothers and sisters, right? But you're different. Oh, you look different, you talk different, you speak, act, behave different. Oh, you're not my brother. Oh no, you're some other people. This is the worldly ignorance. No. In the religion of love, Mother Tasha says, we know everyone to be as our brothers and sisters. And then, very common sense, for are we not all the children of the same one God? Right? Common sense, no? If there is one God of all of us, and we are all his children, which all the scriptures teach, doesn't that mean we are all brothers and sisters? Doesn't that just make sense? How could there be so much division? This is worldly consciousness, materialistic thinking. And Mother Atasha says, we're not connected because we are alike. Of course not. We're not all the same. In fact, variety is the spice of life. Wouldn't it be boring if everyone was the same, cook the same food, listen to the same music? That would be absolutely boring. No, variety is the spice of life. And it's wonderful to have such variety, such differences. These are great. These are not causes of division. No. And she says that we are connected not because we are alike, but because we are in love. In love. The natural state of every soul is love of God. That is who we are. And we all mutually, eternally love God. We may have forgotten it now, of course, but that isn't lost, it's just covered over in every single one of us. Think of it like this. You and your community, you're all rooting for the same sports team, right? Now, everyone in the crowd in your hometown may be different walks of life, different mentalities, different social classes, different races, ethnicities, religions. Yet, when you're all rooting for your same team to win, you're all united, right? You're all connected, right? Even though you're so different. And we have practical experience of this. Everyone rooting for the same team, yeah, and the success of the team is everyone's success, and that's because everyone has great love for the team, right? Well, it's the same thing. We are all connected because we are in love with God. Love is that what binds us and connects us all together. We've forgotten it, of course, but if we but clean our heart and mind, all of that natural state of being, that understanding that we're not so separate and different from one another, that we're all eternal souls, and all those false barriers start to become dismantled as those illusions fall away, then you'll start to realize, yes, we are all brothers and sisters. We really are all on the same team. We're all from the same hometown, the same eternal kingdom of God. We've just gotten quite lost since time immemorial. And the divisions made by ignorance and worldly consciousness are so strong, so habituated, so conditioned in us. It's hard to break, but we can break it. We can break free from all the illusion. This is the purpose of life. And the last to speak was one who came only to hear. And then he said to her, I have listened with care to all that has been said, and I and all gathered have found it most excellent. Truth has been spoken tonight for the benefit of all. Yes, you ask a question to a spiritual master, to a saintly person, they'll answer you, but that answer is beneficial for everybody. I've heard Mother Atasha answer questions in public programs that other people were thinking about but were too shy to say, or perhaps didn't know they were wanting to know that answer, but once it came out, they're like, yeah, I want to know that too. So she speaks for the benefit of all. Devotees of God, all the messengers of God of the past are all for everyone. And they speak truth for the benefit of all. An interesting note on this. It says in the Srimad Bhagavatam, wonderful scripture, that one should speak truth when it is beneficial. Sometimes it's not beneficial to speak the truth, and that's a time and place thing. Someone might not be ready to hear something, so you speak the truth when it is beneficial. And in this case, Mother Atasha answered on all the foundations of religion, the one God, the messengers of God, austerities, charity, prayer, pilgrimage we just covered, the very foundations of religion. The Answers book covers quite a lot of bases here. All the things here spoken of I do, and all that has been required of me by God that I have done. So here's a faithful man, a very religious man. He's trying his best to follow God's commandments, be a good person. Yet still do I wander in darkness, so that my soul cries out to God, "How long, O Lord, must I wait for you?" And he breaks down and sobs. Oh, poor guy. And this is something that many have experienced. In Christendom, they call it the dark night of the soul. It's when you've been practicing, you've been engaged in service and prayer, you're doing everything expected of you, you're trying your best to be a good person, a good monk, a good devotee, a good, religionist, etc. Yet still, seems like nothing's happening. That experience of love of God, that connection with God that we're longing for, is unrealized, is unfelt. Seems like nothing is happening. And you're saying, why? Why isn't anything happening? He said, I'm doing everything right, but still I'm wandering in darkness. Poor guy. Oh Lord, how long must I wait for you? And seeing him so cast down, she took pity on him and said, "Just as there is a time between seed and harvest, so too is there a trial by time in the faith of man." Seed and harvest. A good example. You plant a seed for a fruit tree. It doesn't just grow into a tree and bear fruit right away that you can enjoy. No, there's a time. You must be patient. So, and even though you're waiting, still the tree is growing. It's not ready to bear the fruit yet, but it will. So we too are tested. A trial by time, she says, in our faith. How strong is our faith? Will it endure? Will it last? Are we at the first sign of difficulty or disappointment? Do we fall off the path? Do we run away? Do we give up? Or do we stay steadfast? Do we stay strong and determined on the path made straight? It's a test. A trial by time and the faith of man. What she says, know that though nothing may appear to be happening, you are happening. If you keep hearing, chanting, remembering daily, if you keep discipline, following the practices, keeping the commandments, following the instructions of the pure devotees before you, you keep at it. We may not think like anything is happening, but it's working on us. It's like a child say, I'm not growing, but the grandparent who sees, every once so often says, oh wow, you've grown so much, and saying, no, I haven't. Oh, you are growing. We just don't realize it. And I've experienced this before. Many years where I would just go through the motions. I had no revelations, no mystical experiences, as if I even seek those things. No, it's not my thing anyways. Where, everything's just, day in, day out. And nothing, doesn't seem like anything's happening. I've experienced that before. Several years I've experienced actually something like that. This dark night of the soul. But because of these teachings, I didn't get dismayed. Because I knew that in time, if I keep at it, if I stay on the path, I will be happening. I will be changing. And we may not notice it, but there will be subtle changes in our consciousness, in our habits, in our way of thinking. The more we progress upon the path, the more we yearn and desire God and engage in His devotional service, things start happening. We start changing. But they can be subtle, we don't realize it. Shifts in our habits, shifts in our way of thinking, way we deal with things, the way we handle things, the way we perceive things. Subtly they can be changing. Or not. It could still take some time. But do not be dismayed. Though nothing is happening, you are happening. You are changing if you keep practicing. Keep on the path. And when the time is right, she promised him, God will come. And then the beautiful story of the courtesan and the monk. So the courtesan, she's a beautiful woman, a lady of the night, and she's kept in a mansion by all these rich men who adore her and seek her company. And she's absolutely gorgeous. And he said even the jewels were jealous of her. And so she lives in luxury. You can imagine, picture it. And she's very worldly, really making use of the beauty of her body. But then one day she sees this monk in the city gate. And as she said, there was a beauty in him and a purity such as she had never before seen in any face. He was young, and his limbs strong and straight. And simply in seeing him did she desire him, and so invited him, come to me, come to me. So the reason that she's so attracted to him, sees this beauty, this purity, isn't just because, he's a good-looking guy, materially speaking, but it's because of his consciousness, his heart, that she's somehow attracted to. And Mother Tasha said people are attracted to devotees. They don't know why. There's something about you. There's something about this person that I'm just kind of drawn to. And it's not that person individually, so to speak. It's that devotional service. It's that spiritual presence, keeping the holy names present, that our hearts are drawn to because it's something familiar. It's something of home. And we don't realize it because we're in worldly consciousness. We don't really pick up on it, but our heart does. And so she's drawn to this devotee, this monk. But she wants him for her own selfish reasons. She wants to enjoy him. She doesn't fully value who he really is and what he really represents. At least not yet. And she wants him to come to me, and eventually he says, okay, I'll come to you when the time is right. And as the story goes, he never comes. She still entreats, he never comes. Until one day, she gets really sick by a terrible disease, and that disease just ruins her bodily beauty. And all the men who once, were so attracted and drawn to her and kept her maintained so lavishly, they have no more attraction. And she's just kicked to the curb. And this happens. When you invest in your personal beauty, it's a losing bet. Because eventually that beauty will fade and go. As happened with this courtesan. And she's left in such a destitute state of being. She's wandering, begging for scraps of food like a dog, ill and starving. She's literally dying on the cold stone street. She's fallen completely low, completely destitute. All her pride vanished, her false ego gone. She's at her ropes, end of her rope. And that's when she feels the strong arms, gentle hands soothing her body with a healing ointment, trying to help her, caring for her. And then she says, "Who are you?" And it's the monk. So now the time is right. Now she knows what it's like to be loved. Not for what you look like, not for anything outside, but for what's on inside. And to love someone unconditionally. And she's in such a surrendered state of being that she's able to experience and really know what is love. She's completely lost all her pride. She's in utter humility, completely surrendered. That is when God comes to us. That's when the time is right. When we are completely surrendered in all humility, free from our false pride and false ego and prestige. Humility. Then are we able to hear. And that level of surrender, that is what is really the kicker, the main thing here, our level of surrender. How surrendered are we to God? Are we willing to give everything, absolutely everything, our whole being to God? Which actually is one of the 9 processes of devotional service, surrendering everything to God. She wasn't able to appreciate who the monk was when she was full of worldly consciousness, still had worldly attachments, worldly desires. And she became destitute of all those things, so low, then she was able to really appreciate and value and understand who that monk really was. Appreciate the spiritual. Now you don't have to be in her shoes, left on the streets cold and dying, to come to that level. No. It's something inside. And of course, sometimes, by God's mercy, things will happen around us. Unfortunate calamities will befall us. We will lose many material things, beauty, wealth, opulence, fame, etc., etc. And then, forcefully brought down low, do we come to such a humble state of being. But you don't have to have those types of circumstances. You can be brought down low and humble within yourself, without the external factors. It's just a matter of how surrendered are we. And it's hard to explain, really. But it really, all that matters is our surrender. And it can take decades, or it can take days to come to such a level. It can take just a moment. If you're fully, completely, 100% surrendered everything to God in all humility, that's all it takes. Of course, we have to work on ourselves. We have a lot of pride. Our minds are full of a bunch of stuff. We have lots of worldly attachments and desires and things like that kind of get in the way of our surrender to God, that get in the way of our complete desire for loving God. But stay on the path. Keep trudging along. The time will be right if you stick with it. Okay, I know I went a little over. Let me pause it there. All right. Does anyone have any questions related to today's class? Here we go. Oh, I'm getting some messages here. Oh, that's not related to class. And doesn't have to be a question related to the class. It could also be a comment related to what you heard today, or any spiritual question that can be beneficial, I'm here to be of service if I can, if I have anything good to offer, just to help y'all on your path. I saw you taking notes. Talking to my wife.
No, I'm just like that part that if you even think that because it's happening to me a lot that I think that I'm not doing anything, I'm not having no progress, I'm not doing good enough to be pray to God or doing any devotional service. But this part is too much in my because said that if you think that even you are not even you think that you are not happening, you are happening.
My wife is, I don't know if you heard, my wife is saying that she's had similar feelings where she feels like she's not doing anything, she's not making any progress, right?
Yeah, I'm not even worthy.
She's not worthy. Well, you are worthy. We're all worthy. We all deserve love of God. And for those curious, my wife, she's practicing very well. She's practicing the same as I am, as if she took the vows of a disciple of Mother Natasha. She's chanting at least 2 hours a day. She's regularly hearing from the scriptures. She's regularly cooking and offering food to the Lord and accepting the soul food after. Regularly praying, helping set up, the Discord and everything. Huh? Okay, yeah. Well, you may think you're not doing so much, but you are doing. You see, 2 hours a day chanting is no little thing. It's huge. It's massive, and it works on us. We feel like nothing's happening, but yes, you are happening. And you feel like, I could be doing more. I had the same feeling. I feel like I'm not doing enough. I should be doing more. I should. Mother Natasha would say, stop shooting on yourself. She said, I'd like to take that word out of the vocabulary. Should. There's no should. We look at other people and think, they're spending all day in devotional service. I'm not doing that. So that's them. So what? One of the keepaways of The Following of Christ, that wonderful devotional book, is that you should live your life like you have blinders on, like a horse. Doesn't matter what they're doing, he's doing, she's doing. What are you doing? Are you practicing? Do the best you can right now. And your best today is not your best tomorrow or your best yesterday, but you do the best you can today. And even just doing the minimum requirements of just keeping your vows, doing your daily chanting, that's huge. That is huge, because rarely people can even keep that up. Even just 2 hours a day out of 24 for the Lord. So yes, you are happening. You're making progress. Everyone it does who stays on the path.
Well, in general, I just want to say that I didn't want to talk about myself. I just want to say that part is really touching my heart.
Yeah, it's a very touching. It's helped me a lot, that part. And I see a question or something written by Aaron. It says, I love the monk story, my favorite till now, kind of relatable of time and place idea. Yeah. When the time is right, eh? Welcome, new friend. We're in our questions and answers section. You wouldn't happen to have a spiritual question that you need help with or would like to know benefit your spiritual life?
Yeah, spiritual question, right? So, what practices do you be using with meditation? What type of meditation do you be doing to get results?
That was actually subject matter of last week's class. Our practice is chanting the holy names of God. Very powerful. It's just simple repeating the holy names of God, transcendental sound vibration that purifies our heart and mind of all ignorance, all illusion, all things not of love. And if you stick with it, you can be self-realized, can be enlightened in this lifetime through such a practice, chanting of the holy names of God.
So would you say you yourself is already enlightened, like you already in that road of getting to that?
I am a servant of one who was enlightened, yes. Am I enlightened? Oh no, I have work to do. I have lots of work I have to work on myself. Am I on the path towards enlightenment? Oh yes. I'm just following in the footsteps of those who are already enlightened. And so one day, God willing, may I be free of all worldly desires and free of all the bodily conception of life, and be 100% fixed in pure, ceaseless service of the Lord. Oh, God willing. Yes, this is the path towards that, the path made straight, by which we can come again to God. And God willing, inshallah, may I come to ceaseless, pure, devotional service.
It is straight, bro. Like, based off your energy, bro, I can tell you on the right path, or like in the right direction. You know what I mean? Very positive vibes.
Oh, right on. I think I'm on the right path too. Mother Atasha, she was a wonderful guide. I wish you could have met her. I wish all of you could. And oh my gosh, she was the real deal. I mean, to be with someone who had those qualities I just mentioned, ceaselessly engaged in the devotional service of the Lord, free from all worldly mentality and material desires. Oof, can you imagine? Like, oof, she was love incarnate. Love, literally the personification of love of God. And so I'm just serving her and following her footsteps. And that's the way it's been done since time immemorial. You just become a servant of the servants of God. You serve as they did, and you realize the love within yourself as they realized, as whom they served realized, in an unbroken lineage, disciplic succession. It's so simple. You want to be enlightened, just follow the enlightened ones. Just do what they did, do what they say. Very simple. What's that?
What's that? I say, yeah, bro, exactly, bro. Follow, like, you see direction and stuff. Can you hear me good?
Yeah. I'm outside. It's a little, but I can hear you.
Yeah, but like, what's after, like, losing all your desires and stuff, like, what do you get out of that?
What do we get out of what now?
What's the ending goal? Like, what do you get out of losing all your desires and not wanting anything?
Oh, no. Being free of all material desires. Spiritual desire, oh, that's transcendental. Oh, that brings unlimited and unending happiness and bliss. Oh, you see, when we desire things of the world, temporary things like money, like success, like looking good, beauty, these things are temporary, right? They don't last forever. They come and go, and so too are the joys we get from them. They're temporary. They come and they go. And when you enjoy the things of this world, see, there's two sides of that coin. You get the joy, you get the happiness, but you also get the distress, the troubles that come with life, the ups and downs. That's the other side of the coin of material enjoyment. And it binds us. When we desire things of this world, we're bound to the reactions of our actions. As you sow, so shall you reap. Every action has an opposite or equal reaction. This is laws of nature. And we become bound by these, and we stay trapped in this world, and we just go in this endless cycle, the samsara of birth and death, going through the same old motions, desiring things that just give us a little drop of water in the desert, little tiny taste of happiness. But it doesn't last. I mean, have you ever watched a funny movie and you laughed, and then you're still laughing years later? Like non-stop laughing? No, it comes and goes. It's all a short time. So ultimately, if one's desire, if your desire is to be spiritually realized, to be enlightened, to make this life perfect, well, the end goal would be to be completely attached to the devotional service of the Lord, have all your desires be spiritual desires, engaged in loving service to the pleasure of God, and for your self-purification. And these goals, these desires, will free us of those reactions that we're meant to suffer or enjoy of this world, and will also free us of the causes of the suffering within our own minds. And we start to relish, little by little, as we get closer to our real self, our real consciousness, a little taste of our natural state of being. And every single spirit soul, there's three eternal qualities. Eternality, never born, never die, eternally existing. You're not this body. And full conscious knowledge. Right now we experience death and temporary nature of the body, and we experience ignorance. We experience forgetfulness, illusion, all this distractions, worldliness. And the third state of being is ecstatic bliss. So the soul, our natural state of being, is eternal, full of knowledge, and blissful. Yet we're not like ecstatically blissful now because we're covered over. Our real self is covered over in material nature, material consciousness, and all spiritual paths and practices as given by God, such as chanting the holy names, they just clean away all the covering. And enlightenment literally pretty much is, you just cleared away all the covering till the real you finally shines. Like removing all this dirt, this mountain of dirt that was surrounding the little piece of gold. And that pure, shiny gold, that's the real you. And chanting just kicks away all the dirt off until eventually it's polished and shining, and now your real self shines. And that is enlightenment. Just someone who is awake, not in the dreaming state of life. So kind of in a nutshell, but yeah, that's the process towards spiritual realization.
Yeah, bro, clearing away all the blockages, all the stuff that's stopping you from getting to that point, man. It's a process. It's a road.
Yes, it's true. We all have the power to do it too. Every single one of us. We just need a little knowledge, a little proper guidance, get set in the right direction, and then it's all in our hands. Just how much we desire and how much effort we put into it. Just like anything in life, right? You really want to achieve something great, you're going to have to sacrifice and work hard, perform some austerities to make that thing happen. A skyscraper doesn't build itself, and the purification of our consciousness doesn't clean itself. You just have to do the work.
But nah, I ain't gonna lie, like, I wanna be one of those people that's like, above spiritually, but still rich, like, still got everything, like, in that materialistic sense, you feel me? Like, still got money, still got, clothes, everything like that, but still with a high consciousness,
Huh. Mother Natasha would say, trying to have your cake and eat it too. Well, here's the beautiful thing, is that you don't necessarily have to give up everything. If you already have wealth, if you already have all this nice clothes, whatever, you don't have to give those things up to be spiritual. The perfection of life isn't to lose anything, but to use everything in the service of God, for His pleasure, not our own pleasure. So beauty can be used in the service of God too. So can wealth. Wealth can be used in service. Food, intelligence, anything can be used in devotional service if the consciousness of the person is one of wanting to please and serve God. Now, if you have desires to attain more worldly things that you don't currently possess, I want this, I want that, and I want God, well, that is like working in a bank and you're counting the money and you're putting some into the register, some into your pocket, some into the register, some for the bank, some for me, some for the bank, some for me. And you're considered a thief and you're put in jail. So too, if we seek to enjoy worldly things for our own pleasure, then we too are considered a thief, and we're kept in the prison house of birth and death. So seeking worldly things keep us in this world. Now, that doesn't mean you have to be completely free of material desires at the get-go. I mean, you got to start somewhere. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So it's okay if you have worldly desires and you have spiritual desires. It's okay. You just stick with the practice, stay on the path, keep your daily chanting, follow regulated principles, follow in the footsteps of pure devotees before you, and eventually all of those worldly desires, little by little, they'll actually fall away. And not because, the things themselves have changed, but because you are changing. And you start losing the attraction for worldly things, and you just feel so much more bliss and love for the eternal spiritual that you just lost the attraction for it. Mother Tasha called it the giving up of a lesser taste for a higher taste. And right now we think that all these worldly things, that these are nice, I enjoy these things, I love these things, I want the ritz, I want the glitz, I want the glamour, I want the association of beautiful people, and I want to be famous and wealthy and all this jazz, and we think we'll get happiness from this. Sure, that's why we desire it, right? We desire because we think that they'll bring us happiness. But eventually you start to realize that they aren't sources of happiness, but they're actually sources of suffering, because again, limited and temporary. And also, if you stick with it, and I'm living proof of this, if you stick on the path, eventually you lose desire for those things, because your desire for...
I gotta leave real quick.
Adios. Godspeed, random Discord user. Anywho, I guess to finish that statement, which you've all heard me say before, giving up of a lesser taste for a higher taste. So you don't just force yourself to give up worldly desires off the bat, unless they're really forces. Yeah, give up heroin, of course. Give up hanging out with prostitutes. That would probably be a good thing to get rid of off the bat. Really sinful causes of suffering. Yeah, sure. But wanting a bigger bank account. I wanted to make money. I wanted to pad my wallet. I had these desires too. I still wanted to enjoy worldly things. But eventually, the more you practice, you just lose interest in those things, because these other things, the spiritual, is so much better. And for me, that is true. I just get so much more enjoyment out of it. And what did Aaron say? Bro, how did you explain the entire karmic cycle so easily in a few minutes? I could never. Well, sure you could. Keep practice. Practice makes perfect, hey? So, we try. Anywho, anyone else have a question or comment like to share? Anybody? I tried to give you guys a view of some nice flowers behind us. Hope you guys enjoy the flowers. We're in a park somewhere. Saw some people going with their dogs, curious about class. All good? Well, okay then. Thank you all for coming. It's always a pleasure to be in the company, of all the devotees. All glories to Mother Natasha, all glories to Religion of Love, all glories to the assembled devotees, and all glories to our Lord God. Please guide us to live in love. Jai. Okay.